Hi, welcome to our show. This is Social Psych Today. My name is Lori Edwards Azuru, and I am your host. Today we'll be talking about attributions. What is an attribution, you ask? Well, I'm going to tell you. An attribution is an explanation that we create to help us understand why people do what they do. So stay tuned. We're going to have a great show tonight and enjoy. Hi, and welcome back to our program for part 2. We're talking about attributions on this part, and we're talking about in particular. First, I want to introduce our guest. This is our guest, Bright Azuru, who so happens to be my beautiful and wonderful husband. Thank you for being here, Bright.
Oh, thank you, honey.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad you're here. We're going to talk about correspondence bias gender, and that is what people think about people when they see them, whether it be a male or a female. Previously, we didn't really talk about what we were going to do because I kind of wanted to hear his raw views on what he thought when he was looking at this picture of this angry man and this angry woman. So when you look at the angry man, what do you think, hon? Time is a-wasting.
I think the woman is angry because she's emotionally unstable.
Okay, and what do you think about the man?
He's just angry because something went bad.
Something went bad.
Yeah.
Maybe he had a bad day.
Maybe he had a bad day.
Okay, and so that basically is, I'm going to see if you can see the picture of the woman and the man. I'm going to bring it up there as close as I possibly can to the screen. And so you can see what we're talking about. And that is what we call...
I mean, the man is having a bad day.
Yes.
The woman is unstable.
The woman is unstable.
Yeah, because emotionally unstable. Look at her face.
Yes, she's emotionally unstable. Okay, that goes to show you that gender bias is really true and even lives in our home as well. And I'm sure it lives in a lot of other people's home, is where we tend to think that women are emotionally unstable and men are having a bad day. But in reality, we are all equally emotionally stable. It's just that because women tend to show their emotions more than men, that we're geared for people to tell us we're emotional. But thank you so much for being here. You're welcome. We're gonna have probably another program. I'm gonna probably use you later in the program for some other demonstrations. But thank you, because you're such an insightful, honest person, and I thank you for being here.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, we're back, and we are talking about our second example of attributions. And my husband has agreed to help me this evening since we can't get out on location and tape anyone, so we're going to do it here. We're going to have our show live here at the studio. The second attribution we're going to talk about is self-serving bias. By the way, honey, can you name the first 5 books of the Bible?
Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy.
See, I can name the first 5 books of the Bible, but because he can name it too, he's just lucky. It doesn't really mean that he knows it. That was just a lucky guess for him. But
yes, I know it.
But I myself went to Sunday school every Sunday, so it's because I'm such a great person is why I know it. And that right there is an example of self-serving bias. It's when you think that you're good and someone else is lucky. Hi, welcome back. We're going to talk about our third example in the attribution family, and this one is casual attributions. One of the members of casual attributions, or one of the branches, is called action identification. Honey, what are you doing?
Counting money.
My husband here is the most wonderful saver. He's probably saving up that money so he can take me to Las Vegas. I've always wanted to go to Las Vegas with him, or maybe he's saving the money so we can go to Paris. Honey, why are you saving that money?
Oh, please. That's my lunch next week.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that right there is an example of action identification. Is when we tend to think that someone is doing something for an extravagant reason, and it's really just a simple reason, but we've made up our own for our own various reasons, and why we just kind of went off the deep end on why someone's doing something. And that again is action identification. Hi, and we're back to talk about our fourth attribution. We're talking about fundamental attributional errors, or fundamental attribution errors. I want to make sure I say that correctly. This one we're talking about the actor-observer effect. And this is the tendency to attribute your own behavior mainly due to situational causes, but the behavior of others is due to their own stupidity, we might say. How you remember when we used to live in Indiana and it was so cold and snowy and the ground was always slick? Do you remember that?
I remember you falling.
You fell too.
Yeah, you fell too, but I was pushed.
There you have it, a classic example of you fell, I was pushed, the actor-observer effect. Hello, the last attribute for the night is correspondent inference theory. This is a theory that talks about when someone has a job and we assume that this person is nice because of the type of job that they do. Maybe they're a waitress, maybe they're a bellhop, and they treat you with kindness and you assume that this is their natural character trait. In all reality, they're just doing their job. It does not necessarily mean that they are a nice person. Maybe they got threatened by their boss 5 minutes earlier. Who knows? But anyway, the last word for tonight is correspondent inference theory. I want to give a special thanks out to Professor Karen Etheridge. Thank you for allowing us to have the freedom to do this show. I also want to give thanks to my husband. Thank you, Bright Azuru, for joining me tonight and allowing me to use you and being a good sport about everything. Thank you and God bless. And attributions are the explanation that we create to help us understand why people do it